Hey everyone, welcome to the very first episode of the Panther podcast. I'm Apia Mera and I'm super excited to have you here with me today. Growing up, I've realized the immense importance and value of storytelling. I've experienced, witnessed, and heard a lot of stories that I think the world should hear. Stories that have value, inspiration, motivation, and all that good stuff. For those of you who already know, I have a YouTube channel called Mera Multimedia Academy where we talk about tech. But these stories I'm talking about, they don't quite fit over there. That's why we've developed and decided to bring on board the Panther podcast. Now, if you're wondering what Panther means, it is the Greek word for everything. And that's exactly what this podcast is about. Everything. We are going to dive into everyday life, career tips, motivation, and so much more. We'll be sharing interesting stories, having some incredible guests join us to talk about their lives and careers, and just having a good time together. Think of this podcast as your weekly dose of inspiration, laughter, and maybe even a few aha moments. So, why did I start the Panther podcast? Well, I've always been fascinated by the stories people have to tell, the little moments that make up our lives, and the big dreams we're all chasing. I wanted to create a space where we can all come together, share those stories, and maybe learn a thing or two along the way. So whether you're on your commute, taking a walk, or just chilling at home, I hope this podcast becomes a part of your routine. Every Wednesday, you'd find a new episode right here on Spotify. And if you prefer to watch, we've got you covered too. Our videos would be up on YouTube so that you can see all the behind the scenes action and get a little more up close and personal. Now, what can you expect from the Panther podcast? Well, each week we'll have a mix of solo episodes where I'll share some of my own experiences and insights, and guest episodes where we'll bring in some really interesting people to share their journeys. We'll talk about everything from navigating career changes to finding motivation on those tough days, and we'll sprinkle in a few laughs and maybe even some unexpected twists along the way. I really want this to be a two-way street, so don't be shy. Reach out on social media, drop us a message, and let me know what topics you are curious about and what questions you have. This journey is as much about you as it is about me, and I can't wait to see where it takes us. So, let's make this journey beautiful together. Hit that subscribe button, share this podcast with your friends, and let's build a community that's all about growth, positivity, and a whole lot of fun. Thank you for tuning in into the very first episode of Panther podcast. I can't wait to see you next Wednesday. Until then, keep dreaming big and living life to the fullest. Take care, everyone. This has been Panther podcast with Apia Mera. See you next week.